welcome back to the Blue Collar Off-Road Podcast. This is episode son of a bitch. I just forgot 204. I know it's weird. I'd never do the intro, but Graham's not here. That son of a bitch drive around his old clapped out truck broke, so now he's not here to make it. And as you know, per usual, Richie's working nights, so he will be back at some point here. But tonight it'll just be me and Luke, and we are here with the one, the only Mark from FM Jeeping. And yeah, it's just going to be a nice casual one. I don't know how long it'll be. Might be a quick one, might be a long one. Depends on how monologue-y we get. But yeah, Mark, how you been, man? It's been a little bit.
I've been good. Not as good as that intro, but definitely pretty good.
Was it all right? Did I do good?
It was good. You might have peeked out a couple eardrums, but I think you're okay.
Ooh, sorry.
I mean, that is kind of what we're known for. Like, Graham screams at that thing. You can hear his mic wanting to cry for mercy. So, like,
it's all right. The last
sorry,
one,
not sorry.
The last one, he literally said it so loud that it was gone. Like it wasn't there in the intro. So I figured, I thought I did it well enough where it's like that nice in between, but we shall see.
It's fine. I usually brace for it anyway.
Well, hey, nothing or anything is better than the Halloween episode. I never got any feedback on how the ridiculous intro sounded, but you know, it was fun to at least make, that's for sure.
Oh shit, is that what that was?
The Halloween episode? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thrown off by the date then because I was like, what the hell is this?
Well, all right. It was the day after, but you know what? I think we edited it. Oh my god, why is that such a tough fucking word?
Edited.
English is hard.
God, it just sometimes, you know, it's almost like we do this now where we do this whole talking thing and I still can't figure out how to English. But
that gets said every episode at this point multiple times.
Maybe we need to go to like speech classes. Like, I don't know. We got like speech impediments. We got to get them figured out. But yeah, it's really nice to have you back on. I feel like the last time we had you on was what? I
think we didn't have 3 digits.
I was gonna say, was it Web Wheelers Ball 3? I think.
Maybe I don't know. I lose track. I do.
Well, I
mean, I don't even know what it is.
Same. Definitely same. Sometimes I'm surprised to find out that the month has changed on me. It's we're truly well put together human beings at this point. But
said no one ever.
I mean, I figured it was such a sarcastic remark that was implied. So Mark.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
Rumor has it that the old Waffle Life's been treating you pretty well.
Oh, you mean the waffle I forgot I won? Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought yeah. So, yeah, Waffle Life has been treating me pretty good. I acquired something that I had planned on, but not for a very long time. I happened to come into a rear steer axle, pretty well built 9-inch rear, with more mods than I could even remember. But yeah, that was money well spent. Money well spent. I'm not gonna lie.
So
it's cool.
Definitely cool. Now tell us a little bit about it. Do you know what kind of? I know you said it's more mods than you can remember, but do you have a rough idea what the build was on it?
Yeah, so it is a Spider Track 609. I think it's what it's called. Now this just shows how ignorant I am when it comes to this stuff. I think it's got chrome alloy shafts. The hubs are bored out to they're 04 hubs, bored out to 35 spline. Lockouts. What else? It's geared a little was it higher than what I have in the front, so I'm going to be overdrive. Is it right? Or I'm going to be overdriving it?
Your front's going to be underdrive, right? If you've got like 488s in the rear and 538s in the front's going to spin slower.
No, it's the other way around. So I have 560. But I got the list here somewhere. It's like 560 something in the rear. So
so it'll be underdriven, yeah.
Or yeah, no, it'll be over. The front will be spinning faster.
That's kind of cool because it helps pull up, or it helps like the moon buggies that do that pull up obstacles. So
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what this axle was off was a fully built buggy. Grizzly locker. What is it? I think Wildwood brake set. Wildwood cross drilled brakes. Lightweight stuff.
Damn.
What's the width?
65.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's gonna be a narrow girl. You gonna put some spacers on it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got a fat. My girl's a fat girl. I gotta put some blocks on her, widen her up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll look for the specs here in a second. Or I'm looking for them now. Just technology is and me do not get along sometimes.
I saw you won that, and I was like, God damn, he's gone fully off the deep end.
Well, that was the worst part. Is I'm sitting there like I was working remote that day, and all of a sudden my phone started blowing up. Like I think Sean messaged me. He's just like, "Dude, I'll buy it off you." I'm like, "What? Well, dude, what are you talking about?" And then all of a sudden my Craig's like, "You son of a bitch, you won." I'm like, "I won what?" He's like, "You won the axle." I'm like, "Oh crap, we ran that." Forgot I even put in for it. So I was pretty juiced after that. So I'm not gonna lie,
sick.
I was real excited for that one.
Yeah, it seems like the old Cherokee's been getting the ever-loving shit kicked out of it nonstop.
Well, yours or mine?
Mine doesn't run long enough to have that be a routine, so I'm going with yours in this case.
It's been doing okay. I made it all the way through my last trip to Field and Forest, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yep. I did. Yep. Actually, the one regret is I didn't let Cody drive. I didn't let you drive, did I?
No, and that's okay. I don't mind. Sometimes it's good for me to just be reminded that I need to get my shit done so I can drive.
Who the hell drove it? Somebody drove it.
RJ? Maybe? No,
what is he doing right now? Call him up.
What's RJ doing?
Yeah.
Have him on the pod?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask him in a second here. But I forget who you had. Who'd you I forget who you did.
Who that was? Richie drove it off the trail. Who
that might have.
Was that it?
I have no idea. Honestly, at this point,
I wasn't there, so I can't really help out in this conversation.
I was trying to get Alexis to drive. She would not do it.
We're gonna slowly make that happen. So I think we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I mentioned it to her this past weekend too. And honestly, she was more focused on the pedal situation than she was anything else. Like the shifter to pedal scenario was just overwhelming, which is kind of understandable, right? You have a bunch of people staring at you, and it was just a lot, which makes sense. But it was so we're hoping to kind of change that, whether that be with my rig or RJ's rig or whatever, because it's kind of hard to break those if you're just being nice to it. So We'll see. Maybe we'll see if we can get her more active and on trail in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that would have been cool though. It would have been fun to watch.
Yeah, she's probably gentler to the rig than Graham is, even though she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yes, because she didn't. I don't even think she pressed the throttle. If I'm being honest with you, it was a very slow creep through the parking lot.
Does his Jeep even move without touching the throttle? Because it's always on limiter.
It did actually. It went the whole way across, and then she was like, "Nope, fuck this, get me out of this thing."
Oh, yep. And that was like great. A last minute thing too. It's just like, hey, we're done for the day. You guys want to go hit Boulder Dash? Okay. And we just like went back out again. That was fun.
Good times. Honestly, yeah. So let's kind of dive on into that. The fucking Treps were doing Trep things, and honestly, they kind of outperformed Red Labels that weekend, which is crazy to say out loud with
not
Field
hard
of Forest
to do.
run.
Well, that really all depends on who you were talking to and who you were comparing me against. I mean, like there was times when both tires weren't doing shit, and then there was times where the Treps I think were definitely hands down above the Reds, and then Graham or Sean for the most part was able to do some stuff that I couldn't do, and he's on some beat ass Reds. So it could go both ways. It depends on if the obstacle was wet or not, the driving style, that type of thing.
Well, if we're doing direct like apples to apples, right? That when we went down Easy Street on Sunday, and there was that one climb. I mean, there wasn't really much variable to like either of your rigs other than just tire because the line choice was perfect. So it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like maybe Grams are just getting old or he's not heating them up enough. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the mud puddle that we were in, oh god, dude, he was up Shit's Creek with no paddle, and like at least I could drive around and pull him out. But like, yeah, there was if it's any, his are just spanked. Like, I mean, I know red labels are good when they're spanked, but his are like super spanked.
No, they don't have cords or they don't have tread blocks flopping around yet. So give them another season. They've got at least a season left.
Yeah.
Although, in his defense, I can also understand not wanting to go and buy another set of fucking stickies.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They ain't cheap.
No, they're not.
Yeah, but you can find a decent set of red labels that are used for not that crazy of a price.
No, it's just I'm not going to disagree with that. It's just that time of year where everyone's broke.
That's true. Look who it is. The man.
Well.
What's going on?
It's lovely to have you on, man. Yeah, so it's funny. We were just kind of chatting about you. We figured, no, fuck it. We got no other guests other than Mark. We're
talking about me.
Yes, sir. We were.
I was dragging the show down, so they called you in.
That's crazy.
Hey, don't worry, Mark. I'm good at picking up slack sometimes. Don't you worry, buddy.
I am very worried because we've got 2 rigs on 35s, and for the last month and a half that hasn't happened. Although, does Cody even count as having a rig at this point?
At this point, we don't really know.
I thought I saw a spark in you. I thought I saw a twinkle in that eye when we were last time I saw you.
Oh, the twinkle's there.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Come on.
Oh, the twinkle's there. It's just a matter of getting to go. RJ's actually, honestly, a really good help with that because
we need to see that thing get out of the driveway. Come on, it runs and drives. We just need to get that steering fixed, and that thing could be cruising right down the road.
You're not wrong. You're really not wrong. It does actually drive down the road really well. Well, that was before the over the axle track bar swap, but it's it's only measurements, right? Like we can definitely get it back and going. But I will say it's oh my god, I almost just called you Richie. RJ, I'm so sorry. So used to saying the R word. Something that RJ does great at, though, is he has learned how to get me going on things. And it's great because it's not positive reinforcement, and it works really, really well. So it's...
Hold on. We bag on you nonstop. Is that what you're trying to say? You just bag?
No, I don't know. The way that, I don't know, I'll even tell the group chat, right? Like, if we're going to do something, I'm like, I don't know about it. The way that they handle where they're just like, come on, pussy, get this done. Go do something. Like, it just works. And RJ does a good job at it.
Listen, you just need to aggressively yell at Cody to do something, and he just does it. It's as easy as that, man.
I can confirm.
Just get under there, weld the stiffeners. Yes, sir.
Here's the welder. I'm going to go and get some fucking lunch for us. You're going to weld your fucking stiffeners, and that's just how it is.
Exactly.
And away we go.
And it worked really well.
Those welds, on the other hand, well, they're still. It's still attached.
Listen. They don't need to be pretty to hold. They just need to work.
That is true.
That is very true.
God, every time I look at them, I'm just reminded of the horror. But hey, the important sections were welded by Luke, so it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
If it makes you feel better, my first welding project was my stiffeners, so no excuse for you.
Same. No, that was mine. I think I did one 2 flat pieces at a 90 degree beforehand just to learn, and he was like, "All right, go ahead." I'm like, "Huh?" But the spark got in my ear. Yeah, it happens. Get used to it.
Yeah. You become immune to that after a while.
You stop hearing the sizzling at some point.
It's got to stop eventually, yeah.
So I know that we were just talking about Mark with his rig. Now, the little birdie telling me that somebody has been doing some things for their rig. You kind of want to... Well, actually, first off, sorry.
Who are you?
RJ, who are you? Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into wheeling and all that kind of jazz?
Hi, my name's RJ. I'm a child, and I got adopted into some friend group, and now my rig's been down soft trees too many times.
That's a great introduction.
That is the prerequisite. That is definitely the prerequisite.
RJ was in a sense almost very similar to me, right? Where like he came into wheeling where he was like, yeah, I got 31s, 3.5 inch lift, like this thing's sick. And then you go out with the bigger guys and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Hold on. What is this thing? This thing can't do crap.
Yeah. And it was very much so the progression, the average progression that you see from like, any kind of like current like littler Jeep, and then the progression happens so fast.
It just bumped around. It went from 30s on a 3.5. Then it's like, okay, we're gonna cut the fender flares a little bit. Then or cut the fenders a little. Then we cut those. I'm like, oh, okay, might as well put 33s. I got free 33s, sold those. And I'm like, oh no, might as well put 35s. And I went to a 4.5 inch lift. And then now we're going to tons. So yeah, that's a fun jump.
I was gonna say, speaking of the tons, what are some prereqs that you've been doing to get those tons under the rig?
We got sliders going on right now. It's been chipping away slowly at that. Just need to order a few more parts for the tons, but the tons are all cleaned up. Plan is to have them underneath the rig before Christmas if all goes well.
Holy shit, man.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully.
Uh-oh.
What?
No, RJ's stepping up quick.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're one to talk, okay? You stepped up really, you had the XJ for a little bit, but then all of a sudden you just just went full crazy, Mark. So
abracadabra.
Yeah, but I think RJ might have closed the gap on what I was doing.
Well, I'm kind of in a crunch. I need to get him out of the garage so a Wrangler can go in there for winter time, and I don't feel like moving into my storage unit. So we got that going.
He had more motivation than me, so
yeah. Hey, that's good though. Motivation is always good. So with your sliders, are you doing like both sides? Or are you keeping it like pretty average height under the door?
They are just a hair above the door. They sit in a still, similar to how Graham's are and Sean's are.
Gotcha. So like right in like where that I guess it would be like a kick.
Right where that pinch weld is, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Where that steel sits on it. It's right below that area, so it's flush with the bottom of that. So it's kind of just like a giant seat you got there now if you ever have the door open.
Yeah. Hey, that works.
Exactly.
You got any plans to do cage, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's gonna get the basic cookie cutter XJ special with a hybrid cage. Not for now.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's a good call. Keep it simple. Works. It'll save you from dying. I think that's a great call.
Yeah, that's all it's got to do. It's just got to do the things and protect from the rolls.
Well, it appears that the rolls are starting to grow on trees. I don't know why, but that's just how it be.
Speaking of rolls, Luke, didn't you just roll your rig or flop your rig for like official flop for the first time?
I mean, I'm gonna say that the flop at Roush was much closer to an actual flop than what happened at Logan's.
Wasn't the vehicle on its side and you were standing next to it?
Yes, but that also happened at Roush.
Did it? Oh, okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah. So like, I was able to drive out of the one at Roush. There was no driving out of this one, but this one was just me being stupid. And having a good time. Longtime friend of mine from high school moved down here with us and had never been like hardcore wheeling, and I had just, we wrapped up the motor swap. It's running. It's not overheating. It's behaving itself and all that stuff. So we took it down to the creek bed and we were just fucking around. That's where the video that ended up on my Instagram came from, and we just drove it up a tree onto its side for shits and giggles because it was funny and like it's not going to hurt it at this point.
Gotcha. So, okay, I didn't realize that. That's fucking hilarious though.
We wanted to see how far up it would go before it would go over, and the answer is about 6.5 feet of the front tire being in the air at an angle is where it decides that it's tired and going to take a little nap.
And now, do you mean? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, RJ. Go ahead.
The only thing that kept playing over in my head as I watched that video over and I'm like, trees are traction.
They are.
Trees are traction, man.
Trees are for traction. This tree had a lot of traction, and my buddy had a good time with it because we were like clutch dumping the thing in third, trying to make it up that ledge beforehand, and then he ended up on his side, and it was incredibly uneventful.
I'm mind blown by how that video does not do that hill justice, because you are on it. I mean, hill killing the fuck out of this thing, and it's still denied you. I am very mind blown by, because it, like, on video it's just like, oh yeah, it's just like a riverbank, like no big deal. And then watching it's just like, holy shit, like it just told him to fuck off.
Yeah, you can tell that thing is being hit full of fucking hate if you listen to that 4-liter. And the problem with that is it's just a straight up and down like wall. The video, of course, doesn't show that it's a 80-degree fucking incline. So like when you go to stab it, when you go to stab it, you have to hit it and like be into the power right as the front end starts to come up the first little hump in there. Because if you hit it at full power before you go into it, it tries to just throw the fucking nose over the top of the Jeep, and it's not ideal.
Jeez.
And when you're hitting shit in third gear, clutch dumping it, like, yeah, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I will say that new motor is fucking snotty compared to the old motor.
Yeah, it's crazy how far, I was gonna make a reference, but I don't think it's appropriate. Never mind. It's crazy how, things, if you just let it breathe, how fast, how much power it'll have. So but yeah, that's
I'm confused.
I was gonna say I was never, dude, I can't, it feels too crazy to say. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
I was more just saying that it's a fresh engine, you know what I mean? Like it's good to see that it can run.
I don't know any backstory on this motor whatsoever because it's got junkyard markings. The only thing I know is it like fires up instantly, and I'm not going to say all of my problems are gone, but holy fuck does it seem a lot fucking happier just in general across the board. It doesn't make a fuck ton of power, but it makes a fuck ton more power than the other motor.
Yeah, because the other one was spanked.
Yeah, the other one made 5 psi hot oil pressure, couldn't keep a head gasket in it, and just wanted to die. It still had the oil pan on it from when it was wrecked, and the front axle became one with the oil pan. So that whole thing is just junk.
Hey, are we gonna start making some pre-game bets for how long this one's gonna last, or are we just gonna play it out?
Oh, like a Deadpool? We could do that. That sounds fun. I'm guessing middle July next year.
Call the episode number.
Oh boy.
We're 204 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Then it would be
210. Oh, wait a minute. The season's almost over. Are you still wheeling? Are you still going to wheel?
I'm going out in New Year's, and then I'm putting it up, and I have to work on the Cummins and work on the trailer, because the trailer also needs to be loved.
Oh, okay. So, shoot. Let me get the calendar out here.
My guess is 236. That is when it'll die.
It seems healthy, so I'm going to give it all the way out to 268.
268? Damn.
You're giving us some generosity there.
No, it's legitimately like just a happy, healthy motor.
Have you done a compression test? Because you could be cheating right now, and you know more about it than us.
It's definitely not running lean at all. I can tell you that.
Okay, so then it is healthy. That's good. No, that's actually really good.
It's running very, very, very rich.
227.
227. Okay. Damn.
Okay.
I think that'll put us into the what?
That
Early
is
spring?
May. Yeah, no, that's late spring. It's May.
Okay. Yeah, that's a possibility. As it sits right now, my plans are Logan's taking a break from wheeling from what I understand, in like January and February. It's just not really worth it with the temperature that it's going to be and the other list of shit I have to do. So I want to make sure it's running and then put it away until March. And I'm talking with Bronco-ish. Probably going to have my season opener at Harlan.
That's a good opener.
Nice.
It's 3 hours from the house. Why not? At the moment, it sounds like it's going to be a moderately small group of people that are going to be going, and I want to start my season with a nice flop on railbed, because why not?
Hey, makes sense to me.
Although, alternatively, I am dumb and did post it for sale.
I was just about to say this, but
Hold up. What got posted for sale? What did I miss?
You didn't see that?
No, I haven't. Was it on Facebook? I haven't been on Facebook
Yeah.
in a bit.
It's on Marketplace.
I already dropped a couple digs on the for sale.
What's on Marketplace? Let's take a looky here.
search trash can and it'll pop up first thing.
Oh, look at that right there, first thing.
Yep, shitbox, never wheeled, only driven on Sundays.
Oh, yeah. Who would have thought?
Somebody's gonna message you and be like, I want to buy this for my daughter. Do you think she's gonna drive it to university like 3 hours away twice a week? Do you think this will be a good vehicle?
Can I send my son to church school every weekend?
What do you need to make it roadworthy?
I've already started getting some of the fucking just like, are you serious type comments, like, is this thing good on the road?
I mean, kind of. It actually,
no,
why?
It's not.
I mean, it has decent. Oh, well, maybe with the full hydro now, it doesn't have good road manners, but
it doesn't have good road manners with the full hydro. What alignment? My caster angle is currently set by bent link. Like, I'm not gonna say it's good on the road. It's good at like going down to the ice cream shop maybe, and or like the burger stand that's 2 miles away. It's cool for that.
you should do when people ask this, you should say, I set the axle up for drive shaft angle, not caster. If you have to ask me what that means, don't respond. Because that is the truth.
It was set up for caster originally. It's not anymore. Oh, and the fucking fully locked hubs with the super shaft that is currently in there, that's got like 3 different drive shafts thrown together, and lots of 120 wall just like butt welded in. Shit's mint on the road.
Dude, I can't even get my shit on the trailer, and that's like a 70-foot drive. I can't even stand that. I don't know how you could drive it down the street.
I haven't done it since I put the fucking lockouts on there, so I really, or not the lockouts, the slugs on it.
Yeah.
So I have no clue as to how horrible it is. I just know that like one of the winter, while it's in hibernation projects, is I'm gonna rebuild and retube one of the spare Cherokee drive shafts I have, so that way it's not as horribad as it is right now, because yeah, it's not great.
It can't be that bad.
It's very darty. Like I was saying in the other episodes, with how much or how many turns it has lock to lock sitting right around like 4, you have to like really move the steering wheel to correct, but when it does correct, it's very like sensitive, so you're constantly moving the steering wheel trying to keep it straight on the road with no sense of feeling for what the road is doing. It's a very weird combo.
Yikes.
If it was faster, it might be a little bit better, and if it was faster and load reactive, then it might be even better, but like It's got power in the rocks. It's a little on the slow side for hill killing or going fast. Am I going to fix it? Yeah. Is it posted up for sale? Also, yeah. Like, the rig works pretty well. There's a couple of houses that are reasonably-ish priced. One of them's got a separate 2-car garage where the bays look like it's a bay and a half standard deep. So if I were to end up buying that place, I would just build a bomber chassis in my off time and do it how I want to do it.
Well, I mean, that's probably better suited to your driving style now, don't you think?
So the thing with the driving style is I don't know if it's the rig or me. Like, I'm looking at it's a reasonably well working rig. The suspension on it works pretty okay. There's a couple minor tweaks I would make knowing what I know now compared to when I built it. But like overall, I could make the rig do what I want it to do. I also kind of just want like I enjoy some of the building process. I also hate some of the building process, but I want to be able to go out there and put like one tube on it a night until I've got like a rough idea as to what I want and just kind of be slow and picky with parts on it.
I mean, one of the nice things about when you build your own rig, you know, like where corners have been cut, and when you're compared to when you're buying someone else's project, you're like, oh man, what kind of hack job was done on this? Compared to yourself, and you're like, oh man, you can only blame yourself for that happening.
That's true. You got a good point, because especially because like those quick fixes, like those will always stick in your mind. Yeah, those usually end up being like the longest fix, but a lot of times they work. So it's kind of like I hear what you're saying. At least when you're building it yourself, you know of those issues beforehand.
Yes.
It's not even for me that there's a lot of shit on the Jeep that's just I'm not gonna lie, not fucking close to perfect or even like right, but it was done to get it running and that stuff doesn't bother me. It's the having to redo all of the engine bay grounds to get the wiring harness to behave itself, which I know that's like not the end of the world, da 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 fucking but a good power supply, a good ground, all of that other stupid shit to help get some of those sensor gremlins that I've been fighting for a very long time, redoing the entire fucking fuel system. All of that shit kind of just sucked. I'd rather have done it like once instead of having to retrofit it into the vehicle.
I mean, yeah,
Even though Shopkid did a lot of the retrofitting there and it came out good. Just there's a bunch of little shit and like do I want to chop the nose off the rest of the way? Well, if I'm doing that, it just keeps spiraling into the might as wells, and by the time that you put the time and effort in all of the might as wells, you've got the same amount of effort and time into getting an LS into a bomber chassis comparatively. And I don't know. I want a manual bomber. I think that'd be a hilarious fucking rig to run around in.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to suit what you want? Like, I mean, there's no way you can make the XJ do what you.
Oh, I absolutely can. I'm just looking at it as a way to like I kind of want to sell it and kind of want to sell the trailer. I want a bigger trailer and you know, fucking I also want a house that I can like do my own thing at, not have to deal with the renting situation and whether or not the landlord's pissy about it being parked there this month or not.
Right. Well, I mean, like I've been in a very similar situation. Like, and by all means, I'm in a slightly different situation. I do own my own house, so I don't. I I kind of I can sympathize with you on that. I fully understand that, but like I've been back and forth on selling my rig. I mean that's the joke. It was a joke for a while. It's like okay, when's Mark going to sell it? Like I was going to sell it, not going to sell it, and kind of it. It's one of those things where it's like, does it fit my driving style? Does it fit what I wanted to do? Do I want to do the hardest, craziest buggy line? Like, is that what I want to do? How do I drive? Like, am I a throttle junkie? Well, I kind of had to take a step back and realize that that's not my style. Like, I try to crawl everything. And if I
Yeah,
can't crawl it, like, even when I get on throttle, I barely ever hit rev limiter. I'm not that guy. It's just not the way I like to wheel. But, like, I mean, in correct, like, I'll call you out a little bit, Luke. It's just like you seem to like the throttle, so maybe it might be better suited for you to get something a little bit better
I like
suited for that.
the throttle, and like I've got the vision in my mind if I were to move to a chassis, and like we've talked about this enough fucking times. The Cherokee's posted at the price that it's posted at because it's somewhat sentimental, and there's like a lot of reasonably good parts. It's a really good boned rig to like go and expand on. It's a little heavy, but it's fairly well put together, or like okay enough put together for a wheeling rig. I want something where I can show up and like all of the parts, all of the spares that I'm going to need are nice and easy, like '05 plus 1550 stuff. Yeah, I can afford to go out and just buy a spare set of 1550s to put in the truck bed that are brand new, good to go, because they're cheap enough. I want an LS with a standard alternator, standard water pump, as boring as you can fucking make it, so that way all of these little gremlin problems that I've had go away. And I also want to be able to go and run, like, I don't really give a fuck about the hardest trails on the property. I want to go and run moderately hard trails and be able to do that all weekend without it being a problem or like running into the risk of breaking something that takes me a long time to get fixed. For example, the motor, like I kill 4 liters because I'm on rev limiter, and you're absolutely right. And the manual doesn't help though.
I mean, isn't that just part of the fun of it though? Is when you're wheeling, you're going out having on show, you're having a great time. When you break something, it's just part of it. It's part of having to get.
That was my entire fucking season. I'm not
Well,
vibing with it.
yeah, when it's that way, it's not very great, but it's still part of it. Keeps you occupied, keeps you doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but I will also just be like, hey, I'm fucking worn out after, because it was the front half, it was the coilovers, it was all of that shit to be followed up with oh, it's a head gasket, go to swap the head gasket, swap the distributor, find out why the other one was fucked up. Oh, it ate the crank, or not the crank, it ate the camshaft. All right, cool. Well, we're swapping this fucking motor out. I'm gonna go get another fucking motor. Oh, hey, look at that. The cylinder is welded into the block on this motor. You know, just like it was a series of stupid shit events, and I would like to prevent that from happening again. I understand that you're gonna have broken shit. That's just part of it. But I'd rather break an axle shaft than break a fucking uh, engine,
Yeah,
or
that's fair enough.
show up at the park and have it where like just goes, fires up, does boring engine things that like it's supposed to do, and doesn't care that it's going to live life in at the fucking limiter.
All right, I'm gonna call a spade here. I'm gonna call out the elephant in the room. But like, Luke, like, I have a very similar rig to you, and granted, and this is the topic of the day, completely different driving style. I'm still on my first 4.0. I'm not nearly as aggressive, but like, I mean, I made it through an entire weekend in F&F after some other people had to tap out. I don't know, like, maybe you just had a bad string of luck, or maybe the 4.0 is just not for you. Maybe you're looking for something that it just can't give you.
I am looking
That's
for something
100%.
it can't give me.
So why go with another 4.0? If you want to eat limiter, why go with an engine that you clearly know doesn't do well eating limiter?
It bolts in.
Okay. Fuck.
But now you're moving
He's got a point there.
He's got a great point there.
but now at the same time too, now you're moving your problem. Let's just say you throw a 6.0 in something. Now you're
Yep.
going to be spraying. So let's just say you get rid of your limiter problem. That power is going to go somewhere. Now
Yeah.
you're going to start yard selling parts more than you've ever have. Right?
Well, yes, I'm just trying to move it with like building a 1410 250 wall rear drive shaft type of a move it, and like the dream drivetrain setup would be a 6-liter or a 6.2 into a NV 4500, and then that runs into a 3-to-1 205. Run 488s in the axles. That gives me the same crawl, or a slightly deeper crawl ratio than I currently have with a very beefy drivetrain, and I don't care if it breaks 60 shafts. Like 60 shafts to me is a much more reasonable thing to have be a problem than to have it be the
it would be your prime fusible link, basically.
Yeah, the 60 shaft. I don't know if I would do another Sterling at this point. It would probably be a 14 bolt, and then it's just going to be a 14 bolt shaft. If I got another Sterling cheap enough with the axle, I would consider running another Sterling. I don't have anything against the Sterling, just the aftermarket on the 14 bolt. It's cheaper to fucking. If you're going to go through and build it out, it's cheaper to build out a fully built 14 bolt than it is to build out a fully built Sterling because of the price of chromoly shafts for the Sterling.
Okay.
Got a good point.
And if I'm so there's just like this huge sequence of events that goes into where I want to be versus where I am at, and where I'm at, I could put a 4.8 into my rig. I could keep the transmission, I could keep the transfer case, I could keep everything under it the way that it is, and that's the quick and easy solution to keep it wheeling. I'm also perfectly okay with the fact that if I were to do a chassis, I'd probably be out of it for another year or 2 years to actually build it out how I want it. Both of them are like an acceptable outcome in this.
Fuck it, 14 bolt front.
Nah, I don't think I would do a 14
steer axles.
Yes, front and rear, because fuck it, dude.
Listen, if that were the path that I would go down, then it would just be a fourth fab housing, cut to 05 plus Super Duty with
Toyota axles.
No, not a
No,
Yoda
no.
axle, 14 bolt shaved.
Toyota axle.
Fucking Nick and his Toyota axles can stay in JK land. He's doing perfectly fine over there. Nah, but realistically though, even at that point, what the fuck is the point? When you can just go and buy a fucking 05 plus, slap a 10-inch ring gear in there, and forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, I guess Mark is onto something though, right? It does just then push the breaking point further out. But yeah, swapping a shaft is way fucking easier. So I understand the sentiment on that. Like, you can swap a shaft in a few seconds, where, swapping a motor, it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, cool. The rig has been put together in multiple sections and multiple iterations, and as each iteration has been added, more armor, more structural supports, fucking all of that shit have like cased up all of the parts under there. So getting that 241 in and out is like a fucking Rubik's Cube, dude. It has to go in sideways, rotate it, and then shove it onto the back of the transmission, and the transmission has to be connected to the engine. And then it has to be unbolted so you can get to the top cross member bolts, because it sits so close to the floor that you can't get any tools up in there to work on. Yeah, it's whatever.
Freaking project and a half.
Everything on it is a bit of a project. It didn't used to be like that when it was closer to stock. It used to be like, yep, cool. We're going to just unbolt the fucking cross member, swing everything out the front, attach AX-15 to the next victim. It swings back in. Wow, that was a good waste of 8 hours. But yeah, there's been a lot of rambling about my stupidity here. Can we move on now?
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's fun to discuss what you're looking for in the rig, right? Like realizing that the XJ you're in something new or want to be into something new.
I just think that you're going to have the same problems because
Probably.
yeah, I think you're the only thing is you're moving up a weight class. Like you're gonna start like get super heavy into a hill kill, and then all of a sudden like rah, 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 like just hitting that rev, and then bam, it's because I think the 4.0 is like the Rocky, man. It can take a beating way more than I think an LS can, and maybe I'm wrong.
No, because there's more upgradable parts for an LS to be able to take the hill kill healthily in a good way, right? Like where like the 4-liter there is, but like it's a lot harder to get. They're not as proven. I mean, a lot to it.
I'm also like of the Tim Gibson school of thought on that too. Just go buy a cheap LS. If you're gonna do anything to it, put an oil pump and put some of the rocker arm girdles in there, and then like keep it with a couple of factory sensors and a factory computer. Because one of the other main problems that like I'm griping about is the amount of work that's been done to keep that 4-liter itself actually running. And those are inherent problems to all of the changes that I made to the XJ. So I think that a new wiring harness ran directly off of its own standalone is probably less likely to have issues. And I just think bombers look sexy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, do what you gotta do.
See, I think that's a more valid argument right there. Like nobody can change your opinion on looks. So
yeah,
that's a great argument.
And don't get me wrong, I like the way that the Cherokee looks. There's a couple of things that I want to change up. I figure that before I go chopping up the nose, like cutting the unibody rails off at the frame rail, redoing all of that other fun stuff that's involved with the front end on that shit box. See if anyone wants to buy it during it's probably going to be posted till at least March. And I'm still gonna go wheel it. I don't see any reason to not wheel it. And if at the end of March it's still mine, hey, it's still mine. I'm just gonna keep using it and wheeling it and not go build something else and save the money towards buying a house anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah, makes sense.
Big sad.
Truthfully, I've got it posted for 16. Like, the cost of the tires, rims, axles, transfer case, and all of that shit together ends up right around there. So, like, it is what it is. It's an expensive price, but it also covers a lot of the parts, but not all of them, and it doesn't cover any of the fucking time. So I think that it's a reasonably high price, if that makes sense.
No, I think it's like the value is there for the money. But yeah, no, I feel like that 10 grand to 12 grand range is that like sweet spot where if you want something sold pretty quickly, like that's where you have to drop it down to. Cause I feel like that's where most people that like I've spoken to when they buy rigs, it's around that price point.
Yeah, that sentimental value is going to hit you in the wallet. You're going to lose sales or not get sales because of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. Like I said, if it's still here, hey, I will go and do what I have to do. One other thing I do want to do if I chop the nose off is I want to shorten the dove nose. Bring it back approximately 6 inches.
Yeah.
Try to bring the nose behind the front wheel.
Gonna have those tires sticking out in front.
No, I just want to make it where the down bar matches the original fender location. I thought the header panel was going to stick further out than it did, and there's a bunch of other fun stuff going on in there. So I'm just going to take some time and modify that a little bit, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna reuse my skin panels and just move them further back.
Now-
Push the front axle forward another 2-3 inches.
The real question is are you going to use XJ skins for the bomber?
No.
Dang it. Okay.
You could take an XJ, chop the roof off, put the roof up there, take your fendies, just take an angle grinder, do the things. You can make it work.
That'd be sick.
I could make
Cherokee
it
bomber
work,
things.
but I don't feel like the Cherokee aesthetics quite fit on a bomber style rig.
Oh, absolutely not. But
No.
it would be pretty fucking sick though. It would be your own. Be like, oh look, I still got my blue Cherokee with me. I just added a few more tubes.
Oh, I wasn't saying cut the blue Cherokee up because that would be fucking wild. But no, he could just go buy his $2 blue cans of spray paint and just spray the new body panels. It'll be fine.
No, you just get different panels and spray paint them. I wasn't talking about cutting up your fucking blue one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess if you're trying to sell it, don't go freaking chopping that up.
Yeah, and
no,
like,
I want to keep those panels. I don't want to. You can take the rest of the Jeep. I'm just gonna keep those body panels.
yeah. And alternatively, the other thing here is like, hey, if I end up in a position where the housing market goes my way or things get a little bit fucking better, which I'm hoping that they will, fucking just buy the house, keep the blue rig there, and then at tax time buy a fucking, and I'm not saying this tax time, it might be next year, buy a fucking chassis or just go buy some tube and see what I can fucking hack out in the backyard. It's either the blue rig is staying or the blue rig is going and I'm buying a house. I can't build anything new here, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, that's fair.
but I will say that getting in it and driving it is it's like putting on a well broken in fucking boot at this point, and I do enjoy that feeling.
So saggy.
No, but like
I think
I
you
don't
can all
know.
relate to that one feeling though, especially if you had the vehicle for that long enough. Like the Cherokee, that was my first vehicle I had in high school. Every time you drive it, you just get that this same well broken in feeling.
Yeah, and it's like I can hop in this thing and it's like, all right, cool. For that hill climb thing, right? All right, we're gonna give it a test hit in second. All right, it does not like being punched from the middle of the creek bed and trying to send it up that. All right, awesome. Let's try third, and we are going to pin it the second that we feel the front end starting to come up. All right, cool. That didn't work out. It didn't build enough fucking wheel speed because the engine was bogging out. All right, let's try it in second from the bottom, and we'll just pop the clutch on it. Cool. Like it's so fucking familiar, and I think that the flop at Roush was really good for the rig in a way, because now it just like, okay, cool. It's going to go onto its side if I fuck up. I don't want to fuck up at Harlan on some of them or Trail 22 at Windrock, but like, if there's a good landing zone, I can be a lot stupider and the rig doesn't care.
Yeah, you got a good point. I mean, I don't know. It'll just be sad, man. It'll be sad seeing that thing go.
I don't think it's gonna go. So
I sure hope not. I haven't even gotten to sit in any of the seats of it yet.
well, there's only 2 of them, and if it's still around, it's going to fucking. Timmy's beating me up to go to fucking Grafton, and I want to go up to F&F, so it sounds like I'll be going to.
When are you getting up here to Field and Forest, man?
You gotta do Field of Forest.
I'm gonna do Field and Forest, and a couple of the Rockaholics guys were talking about if we're gonna do that, you know, figuring out how to get a Grafton trip in there as well. So I'm trying to get both of those done towards the end of July, like around my birthday time period.
That
So
would be pretty cool.
go up, see the family, go wheel some of the cool New England properties, and then go home. I bought an extra week of vacation just for that trip. So
You bought weeks of vacation? What do you mean? Like you
Yeah.
worked OT for it, or like how do you buy?
So
weeks of
they've got this
vacation,
thing where like you can elect to buy a week of vacation. So they just calculate out what a week's worth of pay would be, and they subtract that from the other checks out of the year. So like if you get 26 checks out of the year, they make it so that way you get paid for 25, but you get you get paid for 26, but you get an extra week of vacation off. So like you lose a little bit of money out of each paycheck to cover it. It's kind of a weird thing, but
Yeah, that's super weird. I'm not
That's
used
weird,
to
but
that.
that's kind of cool at the same time, though. So you could take the time, but you're just gonna be losing just a little bit out of paycheck spread out
yeah.
instead
So
of
like
just
I
one all at
lose
once.
like $45 per paycheck, basically.
That's
And like the cool part about it is it's not cool, but like the reasonable part about it is since I have to take 12 hours for each vacation day, it allows me a little bit more of a defined amount of time, right? Because the 3 weeks of vacation, you always end up with like 4 hours left randomly. With the 4 weeks of vacation, it ends up working out to where you can just have all of your days off and not
Huh.
have random bits of vacation left over. So my plans are I'm going to Harlan in March, I'm going to the Web Wheelers Ball, I'm going to the Meet and Beat, and I'm planning on a New England trip. And then whatever local trips I can get in there because I want to go back to Windrock.
Well, let me know exactly once the weekend for the New England trip is planned, because then I can always take it off too, and then like
I'll have it it'll be after New Year's because I have to like see what my schedule is going to end up looking like and plan around that.
yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know your whole I mean, I guess that makes sense. I'm just so used to your weird rotating schedule that like you know your whole schedule by the beginning of the year, but never mind.
I can send you a picture of the card that we get at the beginning of the year if you want for the rotating schedule for planning podcast. I don't care, but
I just want to see. I feel like that card is just gonna be like filled with a whole bunch of bullshit. Just
Yep.
like 2, 3, or was it 3, 4, 3, 4, or no? It's 3,
no, it's
4,
2,
4.
2, 3.
Oh,
So
what the fuck?
Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next week, flip it.
What the fuck? That's
yeah,
so crazy.
Screw that.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm
not
saying.
fucking great, except for the short week is not bad. Like when you're working Wednesday, Thursday, that means you're off Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that week. But then the next week you work fucking 60 hours. It's all 12-hour days and it includes the weekend. So like working at 12 for straight time on a Sunday sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. That's pretty rough.
Yep.
See, the question is that some people are probably wondering, when you come up here, Luke, Cody, is your rig gonna be on trail by then, or is it still
No,
gonna be sitting in that same spot?
It better
let's
fucking
be honest.
be.
It won't be. Let's be honest. Come on. What are we fucking
That-
miracle workers over here? Come on.
Well, hey, someone's got to ask it. We're gonna start placing bets on that now too. Will Cody's rig be there?
When
We'll be
my
sitting in the
rig
same
hit
spot.
trail,
Oh,
episode
hey.
375.
Cody, gentleman's bet.
What's that?
Let's call it a bottle of whiskey, if you will. Whether my 4-liter explodes or your rig is on trail, whichever happens
Ooh.
first.
See,
That's
the
good.
problem is
That's
that's
pretty
That's a
would be
surefire bet. Luke's engine's gonna be blown.
no. The problem is I know when my rig will be done. That's the thing here. You don't know when your motor's gonna blow up. So
That's
do you
why it's
really
a
want to
risky
make
gamble.
Yeah, I don't think that's worth a gamble. Okay, then let's do this. Case of beer, or not case of beer, 12-pack to me, bottle of whiskey to you. Because I feel that's
12-pack and
weighted.
12-pack.
No, because it's still not weighted appropriately. Because like I know the money flow that I'm working with right now, and I can gauge my like an estimate of like when my shit will be back on trail, on road, however you want to call it. But you don't know when. Like, but then again, you could also, I guess it wouldn't be worth it. But you could just throw sand in your oil, like.
Fuck this! I'm
I
blowing
am
up the motor. I
not
want my
going to
whiskey.
fuck this engine up after
Your
how much of a
deck.
fucking bitch it was to swap. Fuck that. My fucking XJ is goddamn jigsaw fucking puzzle, or a goddamn jigsaw puzzle to get the fucking engine and transmission out of. I am not trying to go and fucking do that again. So,
And if we're comparing apples to apples, a 12-pack is not worth an engine. But I'll take the bet. I'm down. I will virtually shake on this.
All right,
Okay.
we got two witnesses to confirm this. So,
and one of them regularly bothers you.
oh, absolutely. I can walk to his house from here, man.
Yeah, that's true. That is
So-
true.
That's a funny point I want to touch on. It's very funny seeing the multi-generational bringing the younger folks into wheeling situation that we've got going on here. Because Cody, you were involved in getting RJ in the friends group, and Graham and myself were involved in showing up and ruining Mark's fucking existence for the next couple years.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you're kind of right, though, right? Like, you're the old head now, Luke. And then I think I would follow suit, and then Mark would follow suit, and then RJ now follows suit if you, like, actually stretch the time frame right. Like, that's fucking sick. It's just really cool to see that how the hobby can kind of spread like the plague. It's fucking sick.
Sorry, go ahead, RJ.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I still chuckle about meeting Mark because, like, you are in with a slow-moving fucking group, and we cooked up that fucking trail.
Well, yeah, that was eye-opening for sure. Let's just say that. I mean, ew. Way different wheeling now.
Oh yeah, that for yourself, absolutely, man. The level of confidence that Mark has in his rig now is really fucking cool to see. Like, he seriously does a good job wheeling that thing.
Well, thank you.
Especially
You got to see it. RJ got to see it too. So.
I expect like when you're back at when we were all at Field and Forest the other weekend, and then you just bebopped right through Lake Trail and caught up to the rest of us when we were at Pick Your Poison.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that.
You caught up pretty fast there.
Now, if we're speaking on red trails, though, are you excited that you didn't have to try getting into Elm Street? I know we started on it, but we ended up that was Elm Street, right? The one that we bounced out of.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Elm Street, dude. No, like I don't know. Like I'm kind of happy because I'd probably still be tangled up in those rocks to this day. I mean, Jesus. Man. But like the way, like I definitely don't drive like Sean did. Sean was just. There's no words for how Sean got through those rocks. There's like it was the weirdest thing. And then JB got so wrapped up that I'm like, I'm good. I just want to go back, eat some food, and shoot the shit. I was
Drink
good.
some beer and have a good time.
Like that was so sketchy. It was so sketchy. But I don't know. Part of me wanted to do it. Part of me didn't. So I don't know. I would try it again. I think if we were maybe with a smaller group and we weren't like rushed because we had that group come up twice trying to like hey, you guys through, and we're like, oh, we haven't moved in like 3 hours, bud. Sorry.
But on top of it, we had 6 rigs? Like, that was a large group for Elm Street, and it would have been a long trail if we stuck with it. So
I think so, especially that last section, like where, yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like even leading up to it wasn't bad, but man, there were some really sketchy spots. But once again, I'm getting into more of the red trails and pushing myself on that stuff. So I'm not fully comfortable with that stuff yet, but soon.
I mean, shit, there was a time back in the day where I hated side hills. Like, it's just a matter of just getting used to learning what your rig's capable of and then just slowly pushing that envelope until you tip it over or you do some cool shit. Like, I was like Luke can literally attest. Like back when we used to go to Harris, I used to get nervous going up like 5-foot incline just because they were mostly vertical. And now it's just like, nah, I'm here for it. Let's go. Like,
yep. I remember. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say Cody did good on that. Like that hill climb on was it Elm Street? No, not Elm Street. Easy Street. That
Easy
one
Street.
shot. Yeah, the dirt in the eye shot. Yeah.
Yeah, the unintentional money shot that I got. Yeah,
I felt so bad for that. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry.
I'm so mad I missed that. I was there walking 2 feet up behind and I just missed it.
It was the funniest thing ever because obviously I couldn't do anything to change it. Mark couldn't do anything to change it, but he made it up and then just his big old trep caught a glob of mud and it perfectly landed in my eyeball. Like the eyelashes, the actual fucking eyelid didn't save nothing. It was just glob straight to the eye. And I'm sitting there, my eyes closed. I'm just like, I'm like, I need a water right now. So funny. I couldn't even watch Graham struggle his way up it because I couldn't see.
That trail was a shit show.
Reds don't struggle at Field and Forest. We all know this is a lie, so I can't believe this entire story because Reds are God's gift to fucking tires.
Not on that day.
Yeah.
Not on that day.
Coming around.
Said no one fucking ever. No, Reds have their place, and that place is Field and Forest, but I just have to give Graham shit.
All things being equal, we both struggled that day.
Yeah, well, Graham struggles every day. He's not here because he fucking blew out a throttle cable. Like, what do we expect?
But you could tell, like, so Graham's. I'm not used to the pissed off Graham. I'm used to the like level headed, kind of like having fun, laughing, and whatever. Graham, he was getting pissed off. There was times where he was just like, "Fuck it, just get out of my way." I'm like, it was a different Graham.
So that Graham has come out more often than not lately, and I wonder if it's because he doesn't want to get yelled at from his co-pilot princess, who might get annoyed at him. But lately he has gotten worse with his. I won't call it anger, but like when. Whenever he doesn't have a spotter talking to him, but you can also look. He used to do this too. Like if too many people were talking to him, he would just get annoyed and just wouldn't listen to anybody. And
I think it's one fucking person.
Yeah, that's how I do it too. Is I just try to block out everybody else. And the worst, the absolute worst for it, and nobody really gets it anymore because they're not usually out at the same time. But was the Dan Colin tree or duo whenever there was spotting, because they would just like their voices are like the same like octave, so you really couldn't tell who you were trying to listen to, and it was always very difficult.
Colin can't spot to save his life, and Dan somehow is fighting for fucking second place in the worst competition possible. So, like, you're sitting there with the exhaust fumes coming back at you because, fuck it, it's a 4-liter and that's what they fucking do. Your last 2 brain cells are fighting for third, and then you're trying to figure out which idiot is yelling something stupid at you, because with Colin, it might just work, and with Dan, just no. Yeah, it was a era in Backyard Built's time to be alive.
The good old days before COVID, when houses were cheap and Dom was only like $365 a foot.
Yeah, we had it fucking made. We were a real country. We had fucking 24-hour Walmarts and $1.50 McChickens.
Yeah, actually, I think even the Chicken McGriddle back then was still around. The good old days.
Yeah, I miss the fucking double chicken McGriddle in the morning while the fucking diesel heater was warming the shop up.
As it was slowly engulfing us in fumes, and none of us knew until we would walk out and you're like, holy shit. I still remember to this day, there was a few times between the welding gases and the fucking diesel heater that I would leave the shop and I'd look at Kate and I'm like, you have to drive. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can't even tell you what I'm seeing right now. It looked like, you ever seen those like colorful mixture like bottles where they have like the glitter and like all like the spirally? I feel like that's what my vision looked like because it was just so much fumes that I was ingesting.
Jeez.
Good times though.
Yeah, good times.
Hey, you live and you learn.
Sitting there fucking in the dead of winter welding shit up for no fucking good reason. I forget what projects we were doing, but we always had something cooking in there. I think it was my fucking Sterling, and it was like just snowing out there, the heater was going, and that shitty radio we had in there was bumping.
Oh, constantly bumping. It was great, man. Oh, reminiscing.
I miss the shitty old diesel heater and the shitty old radio.
Well, just think, once you get a shop of your own, aha,
Oh yeah.
then you can recreate it all again.
You can make it all over again.
Just solo. You won't have anybody to be there witnessing you pass out from the the diesel heater, but it'll be okay. We'll still remember you.
It'll
Yeah,
be
these
a
things
hell of a
happen.
story that no one will know.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking poor Morgan over there.
I just walked out and I found him out there. I thought he was taking a nap.
Turns out it's actually her. She like set up a little like vent from her exhaust and put it right under the garage door. She's like, haha, his life insurance is mine.
Fuck. I don't think she's like that, but you know what I mean.
Hey, you never know till the day it's gonna happen.
People also thought Ted Bundy wasn't a serial killer, but here they are. Like him? Oh, he would have never killed people. Saying.
Probably. Yeah. Anyways, moving on from there. I'm excited for fucking next season. I'm gonna just try and get out and wheel more. I'm sure, Mark, you're gonna be doing the same, but are you gonna be putting that axle under it soon, or are you
Ooh,
gonna just wait?
Back to that.
XJ.
Well, I just got to get the motivation. I'm gonna do some tube in the front. I got to do the doubler and run that whole thing. I got some new seats to throw in, and then I want to do the axle. I'm hoping this Black Friday sale that's coming up here pretty soon with Busted Knuckle will yield some good results to do. I'm gonna do electric. I'm gonna do an electric pump for the rear, so I don't have to run the hydro off my power steering pump.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and their rear steer kit is actually pretty solid with like the auto centering and then like the Rockstar motor. I think just under the party mode, so you like steer on the fly or you could hold it into a certain angle. Like it's pretty slick. Like I like it, so I might end up doing that depending on what the sale looks like.
I
Yeah.
like the idea of auto centering rear steer. That seems kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, all it's doing is pushing that threshold of what my rig can do far above what I can do. So I'll have to like grow into it, but it's fun. Should help me get up some stuff that I've been struggling with.
I will
Now,
say that I'm at a similar point with the rig doing more than I'm like perfectly cool with, so that's gonna be funny to watch.
but now the real question for Mark is how many degrees of steering are you trying to get? Because wouldn't you have to take a decent chunk out of the unibody to get more than 15 degrees?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, like I don't drive with it now. So if I could get 5 to 10 degrees, I mean to start, it's a start, and then all I would have to do is then tube out the rest if I want to utilize it more. I mean, if I were going to build this thing from the ground, like not build this thing, but if I were going to do rear steer, I would totally go and do the whole tube or back half, all that stuff, and do it right the first time. But since I hate to say it, like, not to brag, but like this thing kind of fell in my lap for literally pennies on the dollar. Like I can still throw it under. I'll have better clearance, even if I get 5 to 10 degrees of steering. It's better than what I have now.
I think you'll be able to pull more than that.
I probably like the way I have my rear set up. I probably can. And the other thing I'm thinking of too is it's a 9-inch, so I'll get more ground clearance in the center as well. So, like, even if I can get 5, 10, 15 degrees of steering, better ground clearance, it's almost worth it. So
I mean, I'd say 100. Like, absolutely, you could. Like, even like, yeah, just saying, like 10 degrees. That 10 degrees, like, it also might teach you to like help yourself with it rather than overdoing it. Like, that's something that Graham has always said is he feels like rear steer would end up putting you in worse spots than you like normally would be, because then you could bind up all four even easier by shoving them into spots that you don't want, but then also not getting too like overzealous with the rear steer. Think it could be a benefit.
yeah,
Realistically, I think if you were to go and be willing to chop out some of the inner fender or a lot of the inner fender, I truly think you can probably get into the 30s with it without that big of a problem. And other than maybe rubbing on the links, I think your links are going to be more of a limiting factor than anything else.
Really?
Yeah.
it might
Okay.
be. I mean, I won't really know until I throw it under there and see what I'm working with. I mean, I also need to widen it a little bit too, so that'll help. I got to put the spacers on, and um, that'll help me get a little bit more kind of steering. But it's one of those things where it's like I probably stumbled upon something I'm in my skill set is probably not ready for. So using it sparingly will probably be more beneficial than going
Yeah.
full tilt into it.
I'm not disagreeing on the learning how to use it properly side of things at all. I'm just from like a purely mechanical standpoint, I don't know how the unibody rails are going to interact, but I would think that the lower links are going to be more of a problem, and I would just throw it under there and see where you end up, because you're not going to know how you like rear steer, how it affects your driving, and what it does to your rig until you have it.
Right, right. And it's here. It's built. I just literally got to, silly as it sounds. I mean, if there's a way I could plug the RAM so it doesn't move side to side, I could almost run it now, but that's not what I'm going to do. But I mean, I think Joe, who's the previous owner, said that like with my 4-link setup, it should be fairly bolt in.
Yeah, and even if you have to change upper link mounts, you have to change upper link mounts. Whoop-de-doo.
Right, it's not the end of the world. So
No.
yeah,
Um,
it'll be interesting if I can get everything done this winter. I'll have to be motivated and find the time, but like yeah, between the axle and the the doubler, it'll be ready to party hopefully next year.
so you're gonna one up me at the Web Wheelers ball, right?
Oh, that was a given anyway.
I mean,
Just kidding.
my driving style will give you a run for your money, but
I'm
you
boring
know.
as shit. I'm boring as shit to wheel with, or not wheel. Well, maybe I am, but
No. You're a great guy.
To watch, I'm boring as shit.
Like watching two old people fucking. Can't look
Basically.
away because it's so fucking disturbing.
Ah,
Well, I
that is
wasn't
a
gonna.
hell of a visual.
I wasn't gonna go that far,
Okay, then.
but okay.
That was a turn.
I wasn't gonna go that far, but okay.
I mean, I just got to throw some shade because apparently you can find rocks with both drive shafts at the same time and get yourself quite bound up.
Okay.
That was a hell of a hang-up.
I know what you were referring to, but that was such a one-off. Like, come on. Like, that's one of those.
That was
I set that one up pretty fucking well, though.
that was just pure luck. That was
Whoa,
just some
stop
stress.
making excuses for him, RJ. You're here to shit on Cody.
No, I'm
No.
not. I was just genuinely. I was surprised. I was kind of lucky how he managed to fucking register rock right up in there, almost stab him in his oil pan. Like, dude.
But
That's
that was one of those things where Graham was walking everything, like would walk one thing and I would struggle. Then I would walk something and Graham would struggle. And then like JB would just climb trees and do what JB does. It was like the weirdest. That was such a weird trip.
Freeze R4 traction.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a chance to wheel with JB that much. I saw him a bit at the Web Wheelers ball, and it seems like the old rig is doing old rig things, but we didn't get to
it's
really
still
wheel with,
Charlotte, so it's still a
Yeah.
great rig, you know.
we didn't really get to wheel with that whole group, but yeah. I want to wheel with him again. He's fun.
I had a blast with our group this year at that FNF weekend. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It always seems like it is, and I do like the chill nature of FNF. It seems like it's going to be a good time when I go up there.
Chill nature, yeah, it's chill until you get into the middle of a fucking red.
I didn't mean like the wheeling is chill. I meant just like the vibe is relatively chill. At least that's what it seemed like from all of the videos I was getting from that weekend.
Yeah, it's just a good time. Like a lot of your, good friends end up going, so it's nice. It's a good time. I like it.
A lot of shit talking, but that's part of it.
Yeah,
If
that's
Graham
normal.
can't fucking drive, you can find every rock this side of the Mason-Dixon, and we'll just go on from there. So,
And I will be forever stuck as a spotter, even if I have a rig.
All right, now just go up the rock and lay it on its side.
hey, that works.
It does.
It did.
Speaking from
It really
experience.
did.
That was amazing, and now that's the line.
Yeah.
Like, now I want to go back and do it. Like, now I saw what you need to do, I'm ready to go do it.
I mean, hey, you've got the door bars for it. You're good to go, man.
Yeah, that's true. I just gotta get up that first flat rock.
Those door bars are fucking nice. Mine are all fucking scratched up after this season, and I'm like really glad that I put them on there.
Oh, I love my door bars. They do everything they need, and I don't know. They protect. I feel good, and they do what they're supposed to do.
I'm starting to tweak mine a bit, but like I can't be surprised. They're 120 wall, and they're a long run without a lot of supports.
Yeah.
But they make getting in and out very easy, which I don't mind, and it makes it easier to get Morgan to go wheeling with me, so.
Yeah, something about knowing your leg's not going to get crushed. Crazy how that works.
Yeah, and like you can just kind of slide right on out of the rig if it's on its side. That's helpful. It was funny though, because like I ended up having to crawl out the top as you always fucking do, but like I probably need to put something in there that I can actually step on if I'm gonna put it back over on the fucking driver's side.
I mean, you could always just put like a, I don't know, like take out, you know, you have your B pillar there, your B pillar bar that goes across for your harness bar and stuff.
Yep.
You could always just add just like a U-shaped bar in the middle there. Just put some foam on it so you don't smack your head on it. Just put like a small U in there just to act as pretty much as like a step as you're getting out.
You haven't seen my maybe? You haven't
I
seen
haven't
my
seen your
rig.
rig,
My
the
B
inside of
pillar
it.
is way the fuck back there.
Okay, never mind then. Don't do that.
I built it for like it's a 2-door, so fuck you. There's no one in the back seat anyway. I don't want that thing anywhere fucking near me, and it worked out pretty damn well for me. I moved it back like 6 inches from the factory location.
Or just make a strong ass center console. Either way.
I need to put some supports in for the center console. I also need to like fucking tube it out and do more fucking stupid shit because I can't leave anything alone. So you said you were gonna redo the nose there. Are you gonna dove it or are you gonna keep it full width?
I don't know. Man. Like I'm back and forth. I like the idea of keeping it semi XJ, and then sometimes I'm just like I just would rather do the dove and get a little bit more up travel.
I like the dove. I like the extra up travel. It is so fucking nice to go from 2.5 inches to 5 inches of up travel, and like it feels at speed like it's floating on a cloud. Or not like floating on a cloud, but it's just fucking nicer. It doesn't beat the fuck out of you the way that it used to at speed.
Yeah, it definitely did that back in the day.
But yeah, but you're all tuned up now, right? Or at least better valving.
I've got decent valving on it. I'm pretty happy with the valving. It seems to do what it says it's going to do on the tin. I don't feel like the front axle's falling out, which is really cool. I just end up looking and oh shit, it's pulling the nose up. Oh well, anyways. One thing I am going to do to piss Graham off is I am going to weld a suck down winch tab on.
Suck down.
I've only used mine once. Yeah.
I just want it for hill
No,
killing.
twice. I've used it twice.
I just want it for hill killing.
Yeah.
When there's a couple of times where I have seen the rig pick the nose up, and when I've gotten on it and like just watching the video, it looks worse than it feels in the cab. So whatever. I already have the RAM mount. Why not just weld the tab on? I don't actually think it needs to have a suck down winch in use all of the time. I just want it for the every once in a while time.
Yeah, but suspension offloading is real. I mean, so we did part of, what is it, Easy Street? There's the Hero line. I put tire on it, and that, even with the suck down, did not feel. It felt better, but it did not. Like I felt like I was one good small rock from going ass over tea kettle backwards. So I was like, this does not feel good.
Yeah, it's a pretty undercut vertical. Like, it's definitely a put the tires midway and bump kind of a situation, and just hope that it sticks. But it's definitely a rough one for sure.
Yeah, and it's semi off camber too once you get to the top too, right? Or
yeah, it kicks you to the driver's side.
Yeah.
I'm pissed on the note of talking about like decent verticals that the wall of death is gone.
The wall of death? Where's that?
That was at Harris, that big slab that we
got. Oh yeah,
going up.
Holy shit, I forget about that. That's so long ago now. It's crazy because I bet you nowadays it probably wouldn't even be that bad.
No, it wouldn't be terrible. Like, everyone's on stickies. We all have like progressed quite a bit. The fall off of it does still suck, but
Oh yeah, no, it definitely would not be fun. But like, it's kind of similar to like Trail 5 hill climb, if I'm being honest.
Trail 5 hill climb, that center line is fun. I kept getting fucking rejected on it because I forgot that you have to go all the way to the left when you go to hit it. So I was trying to hit it dead on, and it kept throwing me off to the side. I finally got pissed, warmed it up, and tried crawling it on the driver's side, and the rig went right the fuck up it. I need to hit the right side. That was my plan for Sunday, but 4 liter had other things in mind for Sunday.
Did it not run?
No, that's when I blew the 4 liter out.
Oh really?
Yeah, Sunday morning at Roush. That's when it let go.
Oh Jesus Christ! Honestly, I didn't remember the day. I thought you did it afterwards. It's funny.
No, I did that at the Web Wheelers Ball.
I gotta get back to Roush soon. It's
a good time. I think we're probably going to be doing the fucking Web Wheelers Ball there again. It's
get there next year for sure.
It's a good park for it because you can go there with a Jeep, you can go there with a buggy. The buggy stuff, some of it's not limited, but like if you have a weekend like we had where there's just hero traction, some of the hard trails become easy, but if you go there and it's been wet and everything's kind of shitty, that's going to just suck. So
I plan to make it next year. Hold me to that. I'm going to make it.
I will, and I'm going to continue to bully Kish too. So
good.
We'll make sure that everyone gets their equal opportunity bullying. However, you have to ruthlessly and relentlessly mock Cody because you seem to be efficient at it.
Oh, Cody will make it there. I'm gonna make sure that his ass is making it.
I like that. See, I like that. That's this guy. He's what's the word?
He's your handler.
Yeah.
You adopted a child to be your handler.
Speaking of that, happy birthday, RJ. No, we're 2 days late, but happy birthday. Just figured I'd say it.
Yeah. Congratulations. You've survived to adulthood in the Middle Ages. You have 8 more years to live before you die of dysentery.
Hell yeah.
Actually, if you just eat citrus fruits, it helps with that. Or is that no? That's the other one.
That's scurvy.
Scurvy. Fuck. Same idea, right? Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Hopefully, we won't see any bubonic plagues anytime soon. So maybe he'll make it to adulthood.
Yeah, we'll see. I've got. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out.
But well, yeah, shit. What else have we missed? Anything else to bring up and shoot the shit on?
RJ, what are you doing for the front? Are you doing coils or coilovers?
It's just getting coils for now. I'm staying on coils for now.
Understandable. Have a nice day. You made the wrong choice, but the right choice at the same time. You get to live with the consequences of your actions.
If I had the money for it at a time, I would have gone coilovers, but I'm just gonna be rocking up to coils for now. And
honestly, they work just fine. Just limit strap your shit.
I rode mine for 2 or 3 years. It's fine.
Yeah. Weld your track bar mount when you go to put your track bar mount onto the frame rail further forward than you think you need it to be. Get it as close to this pitman arm as you possibly can and still have clearance, because you're going to end up eventually pushing the nose further forward if you go to coilovers. Don't put yourself in a situation where the differential is now starting to try and become one with the mount.
Are you speaking from experience?
Potentially. I can get away with pushing my front axle forward another 2 inches, and then it is going to be fully in the mount.
Or just 4-link time it.
Listen. Nice and easy here, because going and buying a couple of Heims is not as much work as it is to 4-link it at the moment. Do I need to 4-link it? Yes. Am I being lazy? Also, yes.
No, you're not being lazy, but I mean, shit, that does negate that whole issue that you're talking about.
Oh, it does. It's just on my rig, I have to, at the very least, if I do that, I have to cut the track bar mount off, which ain't a big deal, and then I have to burn in new mounts and go. And if I'm rebuilding everything there, then I start spiraling into the might as wells and just buying a set of fucking Heims with a slightly longer shank. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, not 4-link it. You already got the hydro. Fuck it. Do it.
Yeah.
Be cool. Do the things.
Well, that's if you don't sell it.
Yeah. If I don't sell it, I'm just wheeling it next year.
That thing ain't going nowhere.
No.
You're gonna be wheeling next year.
Yep.
Probably. If I had to put money on it, I would put money on that thing coming out of hibernation in March and going up to Harlan. And we're going to have a good time there.
There you go. Just don't throttle bang it.
I'm going to throttle bang everywhere because that's what I do.
Mark, this is Luke we're talking about here. You think he's gonna go one wheeling trip without throttle banging?
Oh no, he isn't going. He isn't leaving the parking lot without throttle banging. So it's fine.
He isn't leaving the trailer without fucking throttle.
No, I idle off of the trailer because the trailer is almost okay, and we pretend to like it.
Hearsay.
Whatever you say, buddy.
I will say that I'm letting Bronco-ish do all of the trip planning for that one, so that way, like, my rev limiter stuff will hopefully be happening closer to the trailer than the way that we went. So it'll be a good time. And then I'm excited for the fucking meet and beat this year. It's gonna be a good old fucking time, and I've already got vacation time scheduled for it.
Nice. Good deal.
Yeah, so Mark.
Yes.
Any new YouTube videos coming out soon, or?
Well, I botched my power steering one.
Excellent.
Yep. So we're not going to put that one out because, yeah, we won't put that one out. Probably be like maybe the I don't know, maybe the doubler. We'll see.
I'm excited to see how you like the doubler with the auto.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much of the floor I'm gonna have to cut out. That's all.
A lot.
Yes.
All of it. And then just take out the whole thing, make it fit, and then just put the floor back around it.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Especially if we're gonna use Graham's and or Sean's as an example. Luke was on point when he said yes.
Also Curtis's.
I actually haven't seen how Curtis mounted his, but doesn't he have a 300? Isn't it a little bit small?
No, he's got a 205.
Sean also has a 300, so never mind. I am incorrect.
Yes. Sean has a 300. Rest in pepperonis. Sean's 300. It's
still alive, isn't it?
He's been having issues, didn't he? No, he screwed up the shaft on the last time out. It was the shaft.
Okay. Well, I'm still blaming the 300 because it's a Dana 300. So we'll just chalk that up to 300 problems, and Sean can yell at us later.
That's fine. I've seen 300s do 300 shit, so I'm good. I'll stick with the 205.
Yeah, I'd rather have a 205 than a 300 any day of the week. Fucking, I will say Logan Bronco-ish, his setup appears to be holding up fairly well, and he managed to go and kill a 14 bolt. I think it was a Grizzly locker the other day, so he's now got a spool in the 14 bolt. But the 205 didn't care.
Well, I was gonna say Grizzlies take a beating too, so usually.
43 SXs don't take prisoners.
No, they don't give a shit.
You're on what, 40 treps?
40 treps, yep.
I'm fucking excited to see that thing, even if it's for the Web Wheelers ball, but I'm hoping to see it for F&F. Just because of how much that thing's fucking changed. And RJ, it's very funny watching your Jeep slowly become a fucking combobulated mess of Graham's Jeep, my Jeep, and Cody's Jeep.
Oh, it's just gonna be doing the things. It's a birth child of like 5 different combinations of visions. It's gonna be fantastic.
Actually, speaking of which, what did you end up doing for a 3-link? What did you end up going with?
Oh, it's just the Clayton kit for now.
Oh, this will work great.
Yeah, the Clayton kits are fine. They do the thing.
They work good.
The thing I like about the Clayton kit is I don't love their rear cross member, but their rear cross member is pretty cheap and easy to change around if you want to just weld some towers onto it. And then you can run the Clayton skid plate, and you have a nice little boring bolt-in kit that like does the thing if you ever want to 4-link the rear.
Rear 4-link?
Yeah.
I'm poor, man. We do the freaking leaf spring.
They're actually not that expensive if you buy it from Clayton. It's really not bad. I think it's like $3,500 or something. It's not bad. Actually, it's cheaper than that. Actually,
it's only $3,500.
I think it's cheaper than that. Yeah. See, okay, my money idea is skewed. Yeah.
The cross member I think is like 250, 290 somewhere in there, and then the skid plate and the rails are another 250. But for a belly pan solution and a cross member, that's not terrible for something where everything just kind of lines up and goes in.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alpine made a really good kit, and then Alpine just disappeared.
Yep.
Big sad.
Cody, fix your shit.
No.
Yep.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm going to continue to yell at you until morale improves.
It's fine. Just have RJ yell at him.
Cody, don't make me come over there. I will drive the XJ off the jack stance and drag the rear axle all the way over to your house.
You're talking about yours, right? Because I was going to say mine's not on jack stands at the moment.
Yep. You wake up tomorrow and walk out, there's like a Sterling sitting on your front doorstep. Fix your shit.
No, currently my 05 pluses are locked behind Graham's 2nd gen. So, but those will get done. Those will definitely get done.
That poor 2nd gen. Oh, Mark, didn't you change your tow rig since we talked last?
No, I still have a Yukon. Doing Yukon things. Like I just tore it apart. But yeah, no, it's still a Yukon 6.0.
That works?
Yeah, it works.
You camping out the back of it?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, that's what
Now,
they're good for.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you, Mark. How did that go for Field and Forest weekend? Were you chilly back there, or did you stay pretty warm?
I was probably a little better off than you. You were in the tent, but
Yeah, that's fair.
the first night I was freezing my ass off. The second night I was sweating. It was the weirdest thing. But
Second night wasn't too bad. It's either a mixture, even though I'm pretty sure the second night was colder.
yeah,
though.
it was way colder.
It didn't feel as bad though.
it was colder. But it was
Cody, you can't be talking. You had a whole RV over there.
First off, we had a propane heater inside the RV. Okay, we were literally chancing fate.
Great.
We were chancing we were gonna wake up and there was just gonna be 3 cooked bodies in this RV. Okay,
you honestly thought you guys were gonna die, but that's fine.
Well, I cracked a window right next to my face, so I figured I would at least survive. I figured they were adults; they could handle themselves, but I was gonna stay alive.
The worst was that first night or the first morning I woke up. I started getting the fire going, and I see Sean's head pop out of his tent. He's just like, "I'm so hot. I'm in my boxers. I was sweating all
He
night."
did the same thing the second morning. I was like, dude, okay, you're trying to stop rubbing off on us.
I know, dude. Stop flexing over there.
We get it. You got your insulated diesel heater little tent you do there. We're over here cowering around the little fire that's barely going by a spark.
I know. Oh, it's so cold. I was not ready for that, but it's all good. Oh, that's fun. Fun weekend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
always
good
a great time.
Did Ryan make an appearance?
Yep,
You did.
You made it up Saturday.
Hell yeah, Ryan's always a good time.
Ryan always shows up.
Ryan also showed up for the Friendsgiving this past weekend. You know who didn't?
What?
Grembino.
Mr. Mark.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, bad friend. Got it.
I was really sad, Mark. I was really hoping you were going to be the one walking around the corner of the cake, but
I'd be in the.
it's okay.
Damn! I'll remember that next time, you bitch.
No, because everyone just went quiet. I'm like, I swear to God. And I just turn around. Cody's walking around the corner of a cake there. I'm like, you fuckers.
Dude, it was perfect. It was great. You
Yeah,
can thank your dad for the suggestion.
Yeah, I heard about it after the fact. I'm like, oh, that motherfucker.
Did any wheeling go down at Friendsgiving?
No, it was actually a pretty quiet Friendsgiving, not gonna lie. We couldn't have a fire because of a fire ban, so the night ended actually really early.
Yeah.
Rip.
I know,
The
which
wind
is
was a little nippy too.
Yeah, oh dude, it was fucking cold outside. It was freezing.
It's getting down to 18 Saturday here, so yeah.
Nice. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think our low is 29 on Saturday. It's nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. But
Yeah.
happy Thanksgiving, you fucks.
Oh yeah, fuck! It is gonna be Thanksgiving for these
Oh, yeah.
bastards. Maybe I'll do a little turkey on the intro. Who knows? A little gobble.
Gobble gobble, people. Have a Merry Christmas Thanksgiving.
There we go. That's actually gonna be the intro. I'm marking that. Just kidding.
Hey, that would be great.
Fuck, how long have we been recording for?
I have no idea. I think 2 hours now, right? Yeah, just about 2 hours. I think we're an hour and 45 minutes. Shit,
Hell
well, let's
yeah.
wrap this thing up. I'm tired of hearing RJ talking, him not bullying me.
Man, screw you. No, I'm never coming back here again. You guys are weird.
No, thank you for filling in, man. We appreciate it. And Mark, you were an absolutely incredible co-host. I think this is your first actual co-host episode, right?
Oh shit! If I had known, I would have tried a little harder. Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah, you
you
did
were
plenty good.
fantastic. You guys were incredible. Thank you very much for filling in the void for us. Sometimes I feel like it'd be awkward just hear me and Luke having a conversation and people were forced to listen to it.
Yes,
These fuckers won't stop talking. They've been talking the whole time.
yes, they're an option to download, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Mark, have you bothered Graham recently? Because he should have a sticker for you.
Oh yeah, I commandeered 2 stickers. I
Excellent.
Well,
Beat him over the head.
No, he commandeered the half-assed ones that Marvell, the bootlegged ones, not the good quality ones. So we'll get you a good quality one. Don't worry.
All right, actually,
Wait, the good quality ones are back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to that Blue Box XJ on Instagram's family's graphic design shop. They made them for us, and
thank you.
they're cool people.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I will get
actually-
the name of them.
I need a sticker for my Jeep because the truck has one, but the Jeep doesn't have one of our own stickers on it. I hand them out to everybody else.
I have one of the OG little ones that's all like smashed up, so I have to go and put one of the stickers I commandeered out of the pack on the old XJ somewhere, and possibly even making it to the roof. I think that would be kind of funny.
Yeah, so when you sell it, it'll just be on somebody else's rig. Good call.
Yeah. It's touche. Well played. But on that note, anyone got anything else?
Nope. I think we're good to go.
I think that's about it, Chief.
Well, time for your ad read. Go check out Crawler Off-Road. BCOP gets you 10% off at checkout. I believe that they are going to be running some Black Friday specials. I'm not sure if the code and the Black Friday specials work together, but hey, they make good quality recovery gear to get you out of a situation. We somehow managed to dig ourselves into a situation with half of the co-host being gone, but when you got good friends, you can solve a lot of bullshit.